JD Vance tweeted this after a judge blocked another one of Trump's illegal orders. He said judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power. But here's the thing, judges are the ones who get to decide the president's legitimate power. That's the court's job. They're one of the checks and balances created precisely to defend from people like Trump, who our founders would have considered dangerous because of his willingness to bulldoze through our system of checks and balances. He wants all the power centralized to him. Our founders call that tyranny. So what happens if Trump defies court orders like Vance is suggesting? Already, a judge in Rhode Island said the White House defied his order to release billions in federal grants. The first time a judge has declared that Trump is disobeying the courts. That could eventually create a constitutional crisis, which is when the mechanisms in the Constitution fail to resolve a conflict within the government. It usually occurs when constitutional law is willfully violated, and it would undermine the separation of powers and the entire rule of law in the US. But the courts have levers they can pull before we get to that point. They can hold individuals or officials in contempt if they fail to comply with orders, which is what the Rhode Island judge threatened to do if his order continues to be ignored. If someone is found to be in contempt or refuses to obey the court could issue arrest warrants or order extreme fines. The problem could be that the courts rely on the executive branch to enforce the rulings. If the executive branch doesn't comply, then that could create a constitutional crisis. That might take a while because a case would have to reach the Supreme Court first. During Trump's last term, he obeyed the courts, but with Vance's suggestion and an unruly Elon Musk in Trump's ear, we really don't know what will happen.